What is a police K9? Hi, my name is Ryan Cannonie. I'm an attorney with the Worth Law Office here in Tahlequah. And recently I was having a conversation with some friends, also attorneys, who we started talking about police K9s, police dogs. And I realized that my time as a prosecutor gave me a little more insight than even some other attorneys have, which is probably more than just the general public has. So I decided to do a couple videos just kind of explaining some of the aspects of Police K9, some things that people probably don't know about them, and just kind of more information generally. So just real general here, there's a couple different types of working dogs that police use. Most of the time it's going to be what's called a Belgian Malinois. I always have trouble saying that. Or German Shepherd. But they could also be Labradors, and even golden retrievers. I've seen those used. Now, there are several different tasks a dog can be trained in. One of the ones that you see a lot, especially with news coverage, when it's kind of a feel-good piece, is about a therapy dog. Now, therapy dogs are great. I've worked with them in the past when I was a prosecutor on cases. They help people to just kind of, especially children and people who have been victims of a violent kind of offense. It helps them kind of relax and it'll talk. It's amazing if the person doesn't have a fear of dogs, I guess I should say, how a dog can help people calm themselves. In fact, I generally have my dog here in the office with me. He's not a therapy dog, but he loves to be petted, and people like to pet him and talk and go through kind of their case with me sometimes. And so these are the real friendly dogs. These are the ones that are well trained. They have a vest, that people say, don't touch them until they're, doing their job, all that stuff. The next type of dogs you have are going to be your search dogs. These can be either search and rescue. These can be explosive ordnance dogs. When I was a kid and growing up here in Tahlequah, we had dogs that would come and do like bomb sniffing kind of dogs. These are dogs that are using their really good noses to try to find something, including drugs. Drug sniff dogs, that's one that a lot of people are familiar with, or the dogs that they run around cars and run through bags and all that. You'll see a lot of these search dogs at airports when you go in. They're sniffing for different types of substances or dangerous chemicals. The last type of dog, though, and there are other different variations on some of these, but these are kind of the three main types you'll see out there, is going to be the bite or attack dogs. Now, you're not going to see an attack dog that's a therapy dog as well. That's not going to work out well. But you might see a dog that's been trained to sniff and find, especially like drugs and things like that, also be cross-trained as a attack dog. Now, the attack dogs are trained to mobilize someone. They're supposed to go for like an arm or go for some type of appendage to hold a person. They're not supposed to be used just to inflict pain and injury. It's more to subdue someone, to go in when it's too dangerous for cops. Whenever someone has a gun, they can send a dog in to try to take them down while cops come in. They're distracted with the dog. They can go in then too. And that's the point of more of these attack dogs. They are most of the time they're treated as tools in law enforcement's use. They can run faster than a person. They can hold someone. If you've got a 100-pound German Shepherd with its fangs sunk into your leg, you're probably not going to be going too far. And so those are the three main types of working dogs you're going to find. And the big thing about these dogs is they're very expensive. This is something, people think, well, just go to the pound and get one. Well, a lot of places do. They go to the pound, they get a dog, but they have to be trained. And that training is what makes them expensive. And when I say expensive, anywhere between, depending on how the training is and what's going on with it, you're talking $8,000 to possibly even upper teens into $20,000 a dog. Most are between 8 and 10 for some training. A lot of times you'll get into 15. I've heard of more expensive, like I said, in the early, like the 18, 19, 20s range, but those I think are different than what you see most places. Most places it's between like 8 and 15. But 8 and 15,000 is a lot to spend on a piece of equipment, for lack of a better term, that is only going to be used for a certain number of years. These dogs aren't normally used until they are completely out of it. They'll do retirements of these dogs. Also, there's the upkeep. You have to maintain their training. You have to have a lot of times accessories for them, like their vests and things like that. You have bulletproof type vests for dogs. You also have the upkeep of the dog. Like the handler, the person who has the dog, usually takes them home with them. They will try to integrate them into their family, so they have to feed them and vet visits, all that type of stuff. Anything that you would do with a normal pet, you have to do with this dog, except even more so and more documentation. So this is just kind of a quick breakdown of kind of some of the general aspects of canines. I'm going to do another video where I'm going to talk about some of the issues with some of the different types of dogs. Specifically, I'm going to talk about search dogs and how that can apply to your case. And I'm going to talk about bite dogs and what I see as some of the problems with bite dogs. So stay tuned and watch those videos.